more than just a sport, especially for girls. I mean, there's obviously all the same physical and mental benefits that boys get out of it and developmental benefits, but there's quite a bit more opportunity for girls these days, and girls tend to, it develops a lot of character for them, some lifelong bonds also that you really just don't get in other sports. And so I just wanted the girls to know that even when it gets hard, even when they're getting their butt kicked out there maybe, even when it feels like it's not successful, but still ultimately we're having fun, and that we always got to keep the big picture on the horizon. So, you know, all of them raised their hand when they said they wanted to go to college. Well, I just told them how they can get college paid for, you know.
How's it evolved over the years? When did you get into it?
I started in 1997, and there was only one college at the time. Or when I started wrestling, there was no colleges. By 2000, there was Missouri Valley College, and then by 2001, there was Cumberland was added. So I went to Missouri Valley in 2001, and now there's 32 colleges. So
do you know why why the change?
I think the overall growth and acceptance of girls in the sport. Some of our elite women in the country have really put us on the map, I think, and shown that girls who wrestle aren't like big, scary, manly kind of women and girls, that wrestling's truly for everybody. Like there's, you know, I was 105 pounds and there's girls who are 240 pounds. Like wrestling is for everybody. It doesn't discriminate against size, disability, socioeconomic status. It's truly just one of the few sports that offers those kind of things.
So I'm gonna ask you this, and I've been watching high school wrestling a lot, and the girls do wrestle with the boys. But today is exclusively a girls' match.
Yes.
Why is that?
It's the atmosphere. How do I explain this?
It's just different.
It's just different. Yes, the atmosphere, the way the girls compete with each other. I mean, boys are physically stronger. Girls can be a lot more quick and agile, but boys are usually physically stronger. And just for them to have that day of just female on female competition, it kind of evens the playing field, and they love it. I mean, they love it.
I think it provides a lot of learning opportunities too,
Yes.
and a lot of confidence building opportunities.
Yes.
So most of my girls, I have 30 girls, and most of my girls have, I would say 80% have only ever wrestled girls. I do have some girls who wrestle boys or wrestle for their middle school or high school team, but there's a big difference in wrestling.
It begs the question for me, do you think it should be separate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. That's the ultimate goal.
That's, you know, I think initially when Thad did this, when I had a girls division, we were just trying to give the girls an opportunity, and then it turned into like Nebraska. Like I'm from Iowa, he's Nebraska, but Nebraska I think will beat us to it. But Nebraska will get girls wrestling in high school here in the next 2 years.
3 years, yeah.
I would venture to say we're probably 3 to 4 years off in Iowa. But what we have to do with tournaments like this is show presence. Like we have to show them, and that's why I was trying to recruit heavily for middle school and high school girls. Like there's tons of little girls. I'm little girl heavy at my club. Most of my kids are 10 and under. What are we going to do for them when they get to middle school and high school? So we have to like stay on it and prove to the non-believers and the athletic boards that we're here, and they need their mat. They need their
Which
And
makes
we
sense.
are here. We're well on our way.
So
Yeah.
what's that going to take for the schools to make the ultimate change? Is it to increase more tournaments, more brackets, more what?
You know, at the high school level, I know that they were asked to, if you could, to put a girls division in, even at the high school level. And I know Columbus did that, and
Yeah.
some of the other schools did that. And so it's on a growth spurt. I mean, it's growing. It's huge. It's happening.
It's actually the fastest growing sport in America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fastest growing high school sport in America.
So are there enough teams to compete individually?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
And so that obviously begs the discussion, what do we do, right? Do you do what Texas did and just say, hey, girls division, girls aren't allowed to wrestle boys, and then it just sort of grows organically?
Right.
Or do we help it along and do like what New York has done and add in a couple girls' weight classes to the boys' team? They practice together, but they compete against their own sexes. with the exclusion of, you know, if they need to fill a varsity spot, they can use a girl. But generally speaking, girls are going to compete against girls, and boys are going to compete against boys.
I think the way Nebraska's looking at doing it is just to begin with, they're trying to get schools to put the girls' divisions in. And then I think what they're pushing for is to have girls have their own class at state. So it'll be A, B, C, D, and then the girls will have their class, you know? And that is, but like she said, if a girl needs to fill a varsity spot with the boys, that's up to the coach's discretion whether she's on that
So
team or not.
how far in the future do you see this happening when you're at the state? You get your own.
2 to 3 years.
A couple of years, yeah.
That's all?
Yes.